Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Living Victoriously, the podcast where we're turning your losses into wins, engaging in real talk, and where faith, triumph, and unshakable joy collide to live your very best life. I'm your host, Victoria, and I'm so excited to be here with you all on this beautiful Wednesday. I hope these past 2 weeks have been full of joy and peace for you. I pray that you've been able to reach the goals that you have set throughout these last 2 weeks and that you've been able to spend time with those special loved ones. I'm so excited for this topic that I will be talking about on today. It's something that God had revealed to me early on in my journey towards living victoriously and in my journey towards transformation. And I'm so excited to share the wisdom, the insight, and all of the resources that He has given me to you all. So, today we're going to be talking about the power of choice and choosing to change. It all starts with you. Whenever you want to change, whenever you want to choose a life full of growth and purpose and resilience, it all starts with you and making choices towards the goals and things that you want to achieve. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite drink, get cozy, get comfortable as we go ahead and kick off this beautiful episode of choosing to change because it all starts with us. So, as we begin, I want to set the stage by letting us all know that in order to change, change starts within us. And each one of us plays a vital role in making the decisions to choose the change to want better in each and every one of our lives. It's about taking ownership for the decisions that we make and making the right decisions to choose a life full of purpose, a life full of growth, and a life full of transformative beauty. I know for me, when I chose to change, I not only self reflected, but I also did an examination of myself to see everything that has happened to me, everything that I allowed, and where I was. And I just remember realizing that I was in a cycle of stagnation, a cycle of comfortability, a cycle of allowing my past to continue to keep me from propelling and moving forward into all the beautiful things that God had in store for me. So I had to take ownership and knowing that I played a vital role in the decisions that was in my life, that I played a vital role in choosing to want better or to stay where I was. And I didn't want to stay where I was. I didn't want to stay in a place where I was crying every single night. I wasn't happy with who I was. I was in depression. I was wearing a mask to try to cover up and hide the true feelings and the true place that I really was in. So I ended up coming to a fork in the road, y'all. And like me, some of you are in that place where you are in a fork in the road, where you're in between mediocrity or wanting to be better, where you're in a place of hopelessness or choosing to live a life full of hope, full of faith, full of gratitude, or you're in a place of stagnation and comfortability, and you have to choose to become to a place that's unfamiliar, that's new, and that's uncomfortable. And so this role, this point where you come to a fork in a road is very crucial, is a very crucial juncture because in this place, in this fork in the road, you have to confront your limiting beliefs, you have to confront the doubts, and you also have to confront the fears that tries to creep into your mind. For me, it was that night when I was on the floor after I had a heart to heart with God, and I just was telling him how I was feeling. I remember telling him that I didn't want to live anymore. And I was thinking about all the things, the negative things that I've been through, and just dwelling on my past. And seeing what God was showing me, a place of healing, a place of wholeness, a place of resilience, a place of strength, a place of walking into my purpose and destiny, yet being afraid in that moment because I didn't know how to embrace the change that God was wanting to do in my life. And I remember being in that fork in the fork of the road. I remember being in a place where I saw the fork in the road, and I remember just crying because I had to make a choice. I had to make a decision of if I wanted to stay where I was or if I wanted to choose better for my life. And eventually, within that night, I chose better because I was tired of being where I was. And like me, some of you are tired. You are tired of living a life of being stagnant. You're tired of living a life full of doubt and full of fears. You're tired of being in a place where you are comfortable and you want to step out and you want to embrace that change. So for those of you that are in the fork are facing that fork in the road, for those of you that are standing there and you see a path towards healing and wholeness and growth, and you've been on this path of stagnation, mediocrity, and of doubt and fear for so long, for those of you that are standing right before that fork in the road, I want to encourage you to choose to go to the path that takes you towards growth and healing, to choose better, to want better for yourself, and to embrace the uncomfortable places, because in those moments that's where growth happens, that's where healing and transformation happens, and that's where joy comes in, and it allows you to walk into a life full of victory. It allows you to see things from a different perspective. It allows you to navigate the challenges and obstacles of life with peace and with a confidence in knowing that because you chose better, because you chose to grow from the comfortable place of stagnation where you were in and the cycles that you had to repeat, it helps you to stand strong and to be brave and knowing that trouble don't last always, that obstacles and challenges are just storms that will soon blow over and that will welcome in the sun to shine bright within your life. So I want to encourage you all to choose better. Now, in choosing better for yourself, you first have to understand that choosing better is not an option. It's not an option. It's merely a conscious decision of intent, like in being intentional, of choosing to change, of wanting to be better, of wanting to live a life full of victory, of wanting to reach your destiny, your goal, your purpose, of wanting to succeed in life, of wanting to have flourish relationships and divine connections and grow your relationship, most importantly, with the Lord Jesus. It's not an option. It's you being intentional. It's you saying, you know what? This was my past, yet this is not who I am, and this is not where I will stay. I'm going to be intentional of wanting better for myself, wanting better for my life, and wanting better for each and every person connected to me. When you choose to want better, not only do you self improve and not only do you grow and become resilient and become um, full of joy, full of peace, you also are able to permeate everything that you are receiving because you decided to change for the better to each and every person that you encounter. And your family and your friends will begin to see that. I remember when I chose to change for the better, and I became very intentional. I became very mindful of the words that I spoke. I became mindful of the thoughts that I was thinking. I chose to look at the glass half full and not half empty. I stopped worrying and focusing on challenges and obstacles within my life that I did not have the power to change. And I allowed that, and instead I chose to focus on the things that I could change and pray about the things that I couldn't change, but that I knew that God had the power and the ability to change within my life. So I chose to take on the positive outlook of things. I chose to speak life inside of my situations that I was up against, as well as speak life to myself and to encourage myself and to remind myself that trouble don't last always. So, in choosing to be better, not only did it help improve me, but each and every person that was around me, it started to impact them and it started to help change slightly their life. And I remember some of my friends, now I'm going to be open, honest, and transparent. Not most of the people that when I chose to change for the better, it didn't impact them in a great way, meaning it didn't allow our relationship to flourish. It didn't allow our relationship to bloom. Some of those friendships and relationships and family members, it did. It brought in healing. It brought in restoration. It brought in growth. It brought in joy. And it brought us together to pray with and for each other, to encourage and strengthen each other. However, with most of them, it had a negative effect. And I had to not just cut those people off, but I had to keep them at an arm's distance, but still love and pray for them and implement and set in boundaries. So, in choosing better, you permeate healing and joy and peace to everyone you encounter, but you have to be mindful that not everyone is going to want to see that change because they knew the person that you were for so long and they've become comfortable with that person. So you have to really renew your mind in the process of choosing to change. You have to really stick to wanting better, wanting growth, wanting resilience, wanting to reach and fulfill your destiny and walk out your purpose and cultivate your relationship with the Lord Jesus. You have to really be girded and stand strong in your decision and your intention to change for the better because many people will not want you to change, okay? so so most of us in life many times have been reacting to change versus responding to change. And in reacting to change, we allow anger to set in, we allow um doubt and fear to creep inside of us, and we see things negatively instead of responding to change and planning our and preparing ourselves to know that change is inevitable. The only thing that is constant in life is God and change. Change is going to happen whether we like it or not. And instead of reacting to change because it has happened to us or it is happening to us, I want us to be in a place of responding to change and planning ahead and knowing that, okay, yeah, this obstacle may try to come, this situation may try to come, but you know what? I've been in prayer. I've been thinking positive. I've been renewing my mind. I've been reading books full of strength, full of empowerment that will encourage me. I've been reading God's word to know that I can weather any storm. I've been being around people that I know will uplift me and encourage me when things begin to change. And I want us to be in a place of responding to that change versus reacting to change. Because when we react to change, it leaves us in a mess. It leaves us doubting. It's kind of like preparing for a storm. When, like, for instance, in Georgia, the weather is unpredictable here. It could be raining one day, it could be sunny the next, it could be cold in the morning but hot in the evening. So Georgia weather has taught me to prepare for the harsh elements, meaning, let's say it's a beautiful sunny day first thing in the morning, and on the news it probably didn't say that it was going to rain. However, because I'm in Georgia and I know that the weather is unpredictable, I prepare and I respond to the change by gathering things that I will need and putting them in my car. Like, I always have a jacket in my car. I always have a pair of sandals in my car, and I always have an umbrella with me just in case it may rain out of nowhere because it was sunny that morning, and because the seasons, the temperatures may fluctuate. Sometimes it can be hot in the morning, and then, like, right around 6 and 7 o'clock, the temperature can drop. So if I'm out and about, I want to be prepared. So I will have a jacket in my car. So that is what happens when you respond to change. When you respond to change, you're planning and you're preparing for uh, the changes that may happen in your life. You're preparing and planning for the situations that may arise in your life. It could be situations with family and friends who don't want to experience this new version of you that is changing for the better. It could be a financial crisis that may try to come in that you didn't see coming. It could be a health scare or a situation that could come in. But when you respond to change by renewing your mind and setting your mind on things that will grow you, things that will bring in healing and transformation, you begin to have a positive outlook on everything. And it helps prepares you to create a savings account, to create a checking account, to make sure you have things stored up, and to take care of your health as well, and to understand that even though people may not want you to change, that those that want you to change for the better are going to support, are going to encourage, are going to uplift and propel you forward, and going to pray with and for you and ride out this beautiful journey with you as you change for the better. So I want to encourage us to not allow situations to cause us to react to change, to be angry with change, because change first starts within us, and change can happen around us and it can influence us. But instead, I want us to respond to change, to prepare and plan ahead for the obstacles and challenges of life that will happen, because change will change. The only thing that is constant, once again, is God and change. So I pray that we react, that we respond to change and not react to change. I remember when I used to react to change. Um, I would be so angry. I would be so upset because I would be in these relationships and I'm giving my all. And in the midst of the relationship, I would either be cheated on or lied to, or something would happen where it would cause me to react when I should have been responding all along by having that mindset of wanting better for myself and allowing God to show me the right people that he had for me. And so I just remember shoot when I chose to respond to change and I chose to heal and allow God to do the work in me and on me, which brought in the right people to date, the right people to um have around me, which eventually led me to my beautiful and amazing husband. So responding to change is so much better than reacting to change in our lives. So I pray that this helps you to respond to changes, whether it be life, health scares, whether it be a job loss, whether it be losing a home or gaining a home or losing a loved one, whatever change may bring your way, I pray that you're able to respond, plan, to prepare for it versus reacting off of the change that has happened and allowing anger and fear and doubt to creep in and set in. Now, in choosing a change, it also brings in wholeness and purpose. When you choose to change for the better, you start to learn more about yourself. And as you learn more about yourself, and as you read and learn more about God, you begin to know more about yourself. And it brings in this wholeness, it brings in this sense of purpose, sense of destiny. You start to see better for yourself and you start to become the person that you've needed when you were younger. You start to become the person that you want to see in this world. You start to become the light of this world. So, choosing to change for the better, it brings in wholeness and purpose. It helps you to know why you were placed in this earth. It helps you to know who you are and whose you are. It helps you to be bold and confident and courageous. And it propels you forward to live a life full of purpose. I remember when purpose started to become familiar to me. I remember when God started to show me more of myself as I started to grow more in Him. And He started to reveal to me that speaking and writing was my purpose. And I remember, y'all, I remember being like, speaking and writing, God, I am good in math and I am great in science. Like math and science, those were my favorite subjects in school. And I just remember being like, God, math and science is for me, maybe, being a pediatrician or being a lawyer or something. But speaking and writing, I don't know about that, God. But he started to show and reveal it to me. And I remember public speaking and writing were my first two classes that I took when I decided to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree. And I was just in amazement and in awe of what God was doing in my life. And when I started to lean into that, not only did healing and transformation and resilience and growth take place, but it brought a sense of wholeness to me because I was now able to live out the beautiful purpose and destiny that God has given me and has wanted for me all along. So I say this to say that choosing to change for the better will guide you and lead you towards the purpose, the destiny, and the plan that God has for your life. It will lead you and bring you to that wholeness. It will bring you to that victorious journey of healing and transformation. And that I want you to be encouraged to know that each of you have a destiny to fulfill and each of you have a calling and a purpose for your life. So allow God to change you and to make that decision to change and want better for your life, okay? Now, in choosing to change for the better and walking in purpose and walking in wholeness, it also brings this new level of confidence. You're able to be confident in the decisions you make. You're able to be confident in walking out and living out a life full of purpose. You're confident in knowing who you are and whose you are. And this helps you not to allow what people say about you and to you to deter you off of this journey. It helps you to remain strong and to be firm and stand against the challenges and obstacles of life. And it also helps you to be confident in knowing and fulfilling the purpose and calling that God has on your life. Because when you're confident in knowing who you are and whose you are, you're able to be bold, you're able to take risk, you're able to do the impossible because you know that with God all things are possible. And by you choosing to change for the better, your mind is renewed and you are able to do what you thought was impossible because it now becomes possible. So you are able to reach another level of confidence. And when you choose to change, each decision made in alignment with our aspirations reinforces our self belief, reinforces our belief in God, most importantly, and it helps our actions within our values. It reminds us of our true values. It reminds us of our true beliefs. And it's just a beautiful thing to witness when you've been someone that was full of doubt and fear, but now you're walking with the confidence and boldness that was always inside of you all along. So it's important that we examine the confidence that blooms inside of each and every one of us, that we constantly, continually, consistently choose better for ourselves each and every day, each and every moment, no matter the situation, no matter the obstacle that may arise, that we choose better for ourselves in our environments, in our homes, with our families, with our friends, on our jobs, with each and everything that we face, that we choose better and that we be confident in choosing better for ourselves. Now, last but not least, in order to change, in order to want better, in order to live a life full of victory, in order to make the choice to be better, we most importantly have to get out of our own way, y'all. Like some of us, we are holding ourselves back. We are holding ourselves back from reaching the dreams, the goals, the destinies that God has set before us, the desires that He has placed within us. We are holding ourselves back. So we must get out of our own way, y'all. And the way that we get out of our own way is by replacing fear with faith, changing our mind, renewing our mind by reading the Word of God and knowing our identity. Our identity comes from Him, what He says about us, by praying and asking him to bring around the right people for us that will help us grow and be better, as well as journaling, be writing a journal of writing down things that you are grateful for, writing down things that you have overcame from your past obstacles, and also cultivating a place of confidence, being able to step out and take bold risk and to go forward in the things that you want to accomplish. And by stepping forward to those divine connections that you are wanting, that will help bring you and elevate you to the place that God has called you to be. So it's important that we get out of our own way. Y'all, to give you a testament and a short um and to give you a testament and to give you a place where I am now. I have been getting out of my own way with this podcast, with the book, with me speaking to people, with me encouraging people. That's been me getting out of my own way, allowing God to show me who He has cultivated me into by knowing my identity comes from Him, by reading His Word, by allowing Him to fuel my faith, by allowing Him to bring in the right divine connections into my life. Since I've been getting out of my own way and I chose to allow myself to get out of my own way, God has been showing up in my life. And this podcast is a testament of me getting out of my own way, being afraid to talk because I thought I would be misunderstood, being afraid to let people in to see my journey, to know the things that I've been through because of out of fear of being judged or ridiculed. um Being able to show the transformative power of God and how choosing to change for the better, it has brought me to a place of living life victoriously in each and every area. And there is nothing greater and nothing better than that. So I pray for those of you that has already come to that fork in the road and you've chose to be better and want and have chose to want better for yourself, that you get out of your own way, that you remain confident in who God has called you to be, that you stand strong knowing that He won't fail you. And as you continue to choose and want better for yourself and be intentional about that, that you will not fail, that you will continue to propel forward, but you must get out of your own way. Don't allow doubt and fear to creep in to hold you back from reaching the destiny, the plans, and purposes that God has set for your life. So, without further ado, that is the end of episode 3 of choosing to change and making the decision to change. I pray that this bless you. I pray that you realize that you play a vital role in changing for the better because it all starts with you. Change begins on the inside. And as we change, not only do we change for the better, but it brings in confidence. We are able to respond to the changes that happens in our life, and we are able to move out of our own way to allow the beautiful transformation to take place in our life. So I love you all. I pray that this episode blessed you. I pray that it helps you to change for the better. I pray, Lord, that it helps you to make decisions that will propel you forward and that will not leave you stagnant and in a place of uncertainty, of doubt and fear, but that you will choose to be to be resilient, that you will choose to move forward, and that you will choose to be in a place of uncomfortability, because in that place confidence will bloom, in that place transformation will happen, in that place healing will take place, and you will be the version that you've always needed to be, the version that God has always wanted you to become. Remember, you're victorious. I love you. And until then, continue to live a life full of victory.